What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Utah Mammoth franchise, episode number 7. We are getting into the 28-29 season. Be sure to check out the previous episode for all the exciting off-season that we just had. But let's hop right into it. Make sure you leave a thumbs up for more Utah Mammoth franchise and subscribe on the road to 1,000. Let's go. And as shown on the previous episode, we have Genther, Cooley, Keller, McCann, T.J. Ginla, Paterka, Fogle, Denoyer, Doan, Kreider, Rodriguez, and Niels Höglander. Defensively, we have Quinn Hughes, Mikhail Sergachev with last year's first-round pick, Landon DuPont and Korobov with Lamoureux and Artem Duda. We don't have a whole lot of good chem there, so hopefully they can rock it. And in the net, Karel Vejmelka and Arvid Soderblom. Yeah, I'd say a playoff push is in order, but we got a lot of young guys, so it's probably not going to happen. We'll see how we do, Andre. Just perform well, and we'll see how we go, sir. We are definitely salary cap compliant because we had a lot of cuts that we made. We even tried to ask Quinn Hughes a favor, but he denied. So now we are into the 28-29 season. We're going to go ahead and do what we normally do, and let's just get to the things. Apparently that doesn't exist. I don't think I went to the right month. We start off with a loss and a win on a little bit of a road trip. 1-2 back at home against Vegas this time. A 5-2 loss and a shootout loss to Winnipeg. We are starting off slow. They want to trade Armsden and Nord for Wenberg. I don't like that. Armsden's going to be a part of our rebuilding process. We kind of took a little bit of a step back, and yeah, I think we're going to have a lot better opportunities with our scouting. So I do want to take a look at the scouting here. They're trying to get Serrata and give us a 4th and a 6th round pick. We're going to decline this for now. I want to take a look at the draft class and what we have here. It looks so far just week 1. We have Edgar Joseph, medium elite left winger out of the U.S. Pisani, medium elite out of the U.S. WHL here. Looks like, judging by that so far, we could have some better scouts out there now. Schvidgi from the DEL Straubing Tigers, medium top 4D. This is just the first look that we get at our team and our draft class. So we'll keep on rocking with it and see where we go from there. Get to the end of the month. We are 3-4-1 currently. Take a win against Boston, 4-4-1. Bottom of the division, however, though. Armsden and Shields are going to get the call to get traded for Anders Lee. Not going to happen. Do beat the Penguins at home in Utah. 5-0 shutout in Colorado. A 6-4-1 in Seattle. And an overtime win against Calgary. Starting to pick up. 9-5-1. Getting towards that Thanksgiving push. 10-5-1 with a loss now to Tampa Bay Lightning. And then a shootout win against the Buffalo Sabres. And we get a trade for Samsonov for Ball. We're not doing this. Not doing this. We did beat the Flyers. Hallelujah. 12-7-1 through the first month and a half of the young season. 25 points. Tied for first in the Central. Let's take a look at the statistics. 20 games in. Clayton Keller has 26 points. McCann, 24. Quinn Hughes with 21. Ginla at 20, which is huge. He needs to have a big year because this is his first year in the big leagues. He's got 9 goals with 11 apples, a +2. We're playing better and more sound defense, which is good. Genther at 18, Cooley at 18, Paterka 16, Evan Rodriguez, who is 35 years old now, with 13 points. Not looking too bad. Denoyer looks like he's struggling, and they're scoring on his line, it seems, so we might need to adjust that. Dudaw's out there with a -8, 5 points. DuPont, a +2 with 2 goals and 3 apples. So we'll see how that changes over time. In the AHL, we got 17 games played. Ivan with 12 points, 7 and 5 apples. 11 for Matika, 10 for Nadeau, 8 points Petrov, 8 points Lutz, 7 for Thrun, Bedoin, and Cousins. Kaiser's got 6 points. Same with Ottavainen. 5 for Lipkin, 5 for Bow, 5 for Lavoie, 4 for Nord, Zuber, and Smith and Tan all have 3, and McCartney has 2. Tan definitely could be in the NHL now. We're going to keep him down there, let him get some minutes, let him get comfortable, and then we'll bring him up. What I'm curious about is the goaltending in the AHL. 7-3 out of Samsonov with a .933 save percentage, 207 goals allowed. And for Colton Ellis, a crisp 3-4, .903 save, and a 2.75 goals allowed. And if we go to the NHL, Vamelka, 9-7-0, .909 save percentage, 3.1 goals allowed. And Soderblom, 3-0-1 with an .866 and a .384 for his goals allowed. Almost 4 goals against. Can't really do a whole lot team-wise when your goalies are allowing 3 and almost 4 goals a game. So got to button that up. But let's get ourselves through Christmas and through the new year and see where we're at after that. RFAs must be qualified by now. Going to lose at home against Buffalo and Colorado. I'm going to stop and look at the draft class because now that we actually have solid scouts in different areas, we may actually start to see some decent players and get better scouting. Edgar Joseph remains top. DePenta, medium elite left D-man, is out here now. Pisani. There are definitely some decent potential players out here, some medium elites. We also have a medium top 4D in Shvidki, medium top 9 forward in Giuliano. We have a fringe starter goalie, which is Noel McKee, 6'1", 173 pounds. And then it looks like some depth. So it's not an extremely high and deep class from what we can see so far, but it's only going to get better as the year goes farther. We can hope. 6-0-1 against Philly, 4-2 against Detroit. We're looking pretty solid as of right now on a little 3-game win streak to go to Anaheim and lose in a shootout. Get our pity point off to Vancouver with a 5-1 win. We get Trikazov coming on the waivers. We're going to decline. We don't need him. We're still on our little road trip on a 2-game swing here to lose at home to the Isles and the Habs and the Bolts. Now we're going downhill. 17-12-2 at the moment. And we are starting to slide down the leaderboard. Don't exactly know why. Don't really care for that. 17-15-2. We are on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. And now out of the playoff picture by 2 points. Only behind the Wild. That's insane. It's wild, you could say. Stat check. 34 games played. Clayton Keller has 40 points, 17 with 23 assists. 11-19 at 30 points from McCann. Quinn Hughes, 4-26. Genther and Cooley at 29 apiece with 10-19 for Genther, 7-22 for Cooley. It looks like it's been pretty consistent. Duda is at a -10 plus-minus, which kind of scares me. DuPont hasn't really been scoring, but he's got a even plus-minus, which is okay for me right now. We'll see how that continues to progress because he was a -4 the last time we checked. The AHL, Ivan still at the top of the board with 11-11. 20 points for Nadeau, 6 for 14. 18 Petrov, 13-5. Kind of not surprised that stayed the same, and it looks like Tan has picked up his defensive stature. He's now a ±8, so the AHL guys do seem to be doing a lot better, kind of turning that around. Haven't even looked at the standings for our Tucson Roadrunners. Maybe we should do that to see where we stand. Usually a good call. We are sitting in 6th place in the Pacific Division, so we got a lot of ground to make up, but at least we're starting to play some good hockey now. Let's go ahead and sim where we like to the most, which is right before the trade deadline. We get our first win in what seems like a long time, and it's at Detroit to lose at the Kings next in overtime. We are just not getting a good row of wins here. But we did win in overtime in Carolina and against LA. And now to St. Louis. This is just Utah Mammoth hockey. 23, 28, and 6. 52 points. Bottom of the Central. And only ahead of one team in the standings in the entire league, which is the Anaheim Ducks with 46 points. So who knows? We're going to get to the trade deadline and see what we can do. We're going to be selling off. Maybe see if Quinn Hughes will waive his clause now that we're playing poorly. And who knows? Maybe we'll even ask Sergachev, because we're going to need the cap space later on in the row. I know Jordan is editing this, hearing that going, whoa. He learned. Yeah! We are sellers. We're entering the trade deadline here. Sergachev is on the board. I repeat, Sergachev is on the board. I'm going to try and ask Quinn Hughes. Oh, it's not going to let me. I was going to ask Quinn Hughes to remove his no-move clause. But Sergachev is out there. We'll probably get some offers. He's 30 years old. He's got 3 years remaining at $8.5 million. That'll free up some cap space. So I'm hoping we can move him. I'm hoping we can move him. It sucks, but Toronto's going to offer us a 29 and a 30 round 1 pick. And I think I'm stupid if I don't take 2 first-round picks. We're clearly not going to make the playoffs. I think it's time. We'll ride it. We'll take it. That one kind of stings. But it's okay. That's $8.5 million off the cap for the next few years. We got to keep Keller. We just signed him, which 12.9 isn't nearly as bad as what we did for Quinn Hughes. But man, that one kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. We got a lot of guys down here that are solid. We could potentially see if McCann, we could get something for him, but he's been playing pretty solid with us. Esh Kogan, a bunch of other guys that are probably going to need to get called up now. I can't believe we actually just did that. Logan Cooley's going to stay with us. I wonder if he will waive it now. We're going to ask Quinn Hughes if he will waive his no-move clause. He's still not waiving it. So we will be keeping Quinn Hughes. I was hoping maybe we could move him and get an excellent bag out of it, but that's not gonna happen. I don't know. How old is McCann? McCann's 32. We could probably get a decent rollback for him. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go down here to McCann and try to find a trade here. Dallas Stars round 1 and Penguins round 3 and a center, prospect center. Minnesota round 1 and a round 3 and a right wing prospect. Round 2 and 3, that's shitty. Round 1 and a round 2 in Hood from Montreal. Vegas round 1 and 3. Winnipeg 1 and 2. I'm going to go with Martin just because less money, less years. Probably flip him. But that's a round 1 and a round 2 pick right there. Although, you know what? I feel like a round 1 and round 2 makes it more worth it than medium. Yeah, we're going with this. This is what we're rolling with. McCann traded. Insane what we're still doing. And McCann wasn't holding up that much cap space. But if you ask me, that kind of frees us up for continuing to tank, if you ask me. Evan Rodriguez, always can find a trade for him. There's some 4th and 6th round picks out there. I'm trying to see if we can snipe a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Florida wants him back. A 3rd round pick and a top 9 medium potential forward. This Vegas one seems intriguing because of the 3rd and the 7th. But he's only got 1 year left. I was more so looking for a prospect. The Stars threw one with a 5th round pick, which doesn't really excite me a whole lot. I feel like a 4th and a 6th is decent value. Even a 3rd and a 5th is decent value. We're going to go ahead and take a 3rd and a 5th from Tampa for Evan Rodriguez. A little bit of cap space off, as well as some more draft capital. Getting a lot of draft capital in this upcoming draft, which first year with new scouts, not a bad thing. We have an entire just cesspool. An entire cesspool, I say, of goalies. Serreda's going to take a while to be ready. We have Sebastian Kosa, Samsonov, Ellis, all in the AHL already. Soderblom, Vejmelka. We have Darby that is... People have been interested in Serreda. So I think maybe we put him out there as a fringe starter and see who is interested. See what there is. But it's all bottom 6 forwards and a top 9 forward. So obviously there's not a whole lot of value. I would say that our trade deadline is a wrap, and we should look forward to next off-season. Going to be probably our best option, being that we are at the very bottom of the board. So let's go ahead and sim forward to the end of the year, because we might get to at least watch an AHL run with some of the younger guys, which could be exciting. Or it could be like the last couple of years where it's exciting for the first round. Second game after the deadline, we lose to Edmonton. And we're going to probably start a losing streak, which is not good. Review our draft class real quick, because it does appear that we have a lot better scouting now. Michael Chow, right winger. 204 pounds, 6'2", medium elite. We got a lot more medium elite potential guys out here than we once had. There's also a Suominen from the Liga, top 4 D-man right there. Really do believe in, building from the back up. So not a bad idea to continue to stack our D-men, especially with now Sergachev being gone. Could be a little bit of a rough one. We got the elite potentials at the very top. Top 6 forward low, Kolanos. Center right winger from the NLA. These are definitely a lot better scouting class than the previous Shvidki, Atanovic, and Suominen. All very, very good. He looks like a two-way defenseman, and he's listed as the 8th best player in the draft. So it seems like there's a lot more depth, and if we can get some trades out, because we did not have a first-round pick because we traded it away, which now regretting it a little bit. We are looking a lot better here. 27, 31, and 6 at the time of saying that to win at Carolina, or at home against Carolina and Columbus. Now apparently we're going to start winning. Trade deadline's gone. We're going to start winning a little bit more. Lose to the Devils. Lose to the Jets. Final stretch of March before we head into the postseason. And what happens there? We are to 31, 34, and 6. Looks like there are a few teams under us now. We're making a little bit of a push, 74 points, 6 points back. I don't think it's possible unless we win out, which is not going to happen. Not going to happen. But the boys did start making a bit of a push. We got 2 first-round picks from Toronto. Toronto looks like they're in a playoff position. So that leads me to believe we're probably not going to get a draft lottery pick. We did finish on a win against Nashville, 37, 37, and 8. It's good enough for 82 points. It's a point-per-game team there. And the Preds, Blues, Ducks, Flames, and Sharks in our conference all finished below us. Then we have the Sens, Devils, and Penguins finishing in the East below us. And our Roadrunners are in the second spot in the Pacific with 89 points right now with 2 games to go. So we will go ahead and simulate the last 2 games for the Tucson Roadrunners as they're going to prepare for the playoffs. And they finish out with a win against the Thunderbirds, which is huge because the Thunderbirds are number 2 in the Central. Now we prepare for playoffs, and hopefully we do well. And we're going to be going against the Thunderbirds in the playoffs. In the regular season, 72 games played, 55 points for Nadeau with 17 and 38 assists, 45 points for Petrov with 31 goals, 14 assists, Ivan at 24 and 21, Bedoin with 44 points, 12 and 32, Matika, Lutz, Kaiser, all in the 30-point realm. And we had a lot of 20-point players too. Thrun, Cousins, Nord, Tan in his first season with a plus 20. Lipkin, Zuber, McCartney, Bow. Bow actually had 19 points, but I apologize. He looked pretty good there. Even, having some of these guys out here for the first time, we didn't have a single player with a negative plus-minus, and I actually really like that. That means defensively we stepped it up, and offensively we're not extremely top-heavy, so I like it. We look at the Mammoth, finished out, Clayton Keller, 83 points with 41 and 42. Quinn Hughes, 66, good enough for 11 and 55. Logan Cooley, 65 with 19 and 46. Genther, 62 with 19 and 43. And our last 60-point scorer, Iginla, in his rookie season, had also a plus 3, 29 points, 32 goals for 61 points. That is insane. That might be good enough to win a Rookie of the Year award. Paterka, 54 points, 13-41. Hoglander, 31 points, which is a pretty good season for him, 9 and 22. Then we had a couple 20-point goal scorers with Korobov, Fogel, Kreider, Denoyer, Doan, DuPont, Duda, and Lamoureux. And then it drops all the way down to Doc, Martin, and Crevier, not even breaking 10. DuPont being a minus 17 kind of scares me. It could be the partnership with him and Duda might not be working, so maybe we flex that out in this next offseason and figure out what we can do. But not too mad about that at all. Cannot forget about the goaltending, considering I did for a minute. But Melka, 25, 28, and 2 with a 909 and the 3 goals allowed. Soderblom, 12, 9, and 6 for an 893 and 3.5 goals allowed. And in the AHL, Samsonov, 28, 12, and 3 with a 933, just under 2 goals allowed per game. And Colton Ellis, Solar Bears legend, by the way, 15, 12, and 2 with a 914 and about a 2.5 goals allowed. Not terrible at all. They both took a pretty solid load each. I really liked that out of our goaltending. Probably going to try to bring back most of our goaltenders because our younger guys are not going to be ready yet. Playoff time. We are going to sim through the first 2 home games. We haven't had a whole lot of luck in our first games. We lose in overtime to Coachella. Lose again. We are needing a big game 3 to not be knocked out in the first round. And we win. We need a clean sweep on the back end. Game 2 on the or game 3 on the road. That was game 4. Oh my gosh, we lost in overtime. And we make a first round exit. What a shame. A shame. We got to the first round and lose 1 and 3. NHL, we have Winnipeg and Dallas, Vegas and Edmonton. Then you had the Toronto Maple Leafs up 3-0 on the Wings and the Bolts up 2-1 on the Blue Jackets. Absolutely insane games. Curious to see who wins. I'm also very excited to see where we go with our draft class, since we actually had scouting done. Thank you, Twitch chat. Go watch that last episode. You guys can see them yell at me a lot. Dallas Stars are your Stanley Cup champs, and the Laval Rocket are your Calder Cup champions. Salary cap is going to go up, and that is kind of a wild year. What I was hoping that would be a better year ended up really bad, but then slowly started to pick its way back up. We got the draft class here, and there's a lot better scouting up at the top for us, and I love that for us. Because even if we don't have a top 5 pick and we get a top 13 pick, we can pick up Tan's brother Cohen Tan, and we can have the Tan boys on our team. Yalds is down here at a top 6 medium potential. Like, there are just a lot more that we can see and a lot better. Even a top 6D, top 9 forward, like, we didn't get this before. So this is definitely Pavelski, a top 6 forward medium potential. Like, this is a lot better scouting. Even if, you know, Stempniak is a lower rated player, but, you know, he's low top 6 forward potential. This is still better than what we were seeing, and we're actually getting some better scouting out of this. So that is a very good thing. Curious to see where we end up in the draft lottery. And I want to do this before the end of the episode and find out where we go for the draft, so you guys can help me in the comment section. Tell me what you guys would do for this next upcoming draft, because this will have to be recorded most likely after I get back from my trip. So let me know in the comment section below, based off of what we're about to find out, that we are going to get pick number nothing in the top 16. Nothing in the top 16, gentlemen. That is crazy. Our original pick would have been at the 11 spot, and we could pick Christian Johansson, Kip McCauley, or Artem Nikulin. Man. I feel like defensively, we have quite a bit of solid depth down here, too. Our goalies, we have a lot of goalies here. We have a lot of goalies. Some growth here, too. Some growth here. DuPont at an 85 overall right now. Iginla is just tearing it up, if you ask me. It's looking like we still are going to have Toronto's pick, which is 31, where we might be able to jump up to get a player that we want. We can also manipulate some of these second-round picks in the next episode to try and get a little farther up. We shall see, but all I know is we have poor chemistry. It might be time to fire, Andre Torini, or maybe just get him a little bit of help over here, because something just isn't working with our team. It's just not good. It's just not good. We need players that are going to go well from the AHL to the NHL level, and when our coaching staff is this far upside down the way it is, I don't like it. So Elijah Webster, we're going to get rid of him. I'm going to do this now before I absolutely just forget. We just don't have a whole lot of good options down here. You know what I mean? Spencer Carberry's up here. Spencer Carberry might be a guy we look at. He might be something we look at. We're going to offer him this contract. We're in the off season now. Anything can happen. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Thank you guys for watching Utah Mammoth episode number 7. I appreciate you boys. Let me know what you think we should do, and if we should go after a specific player that you saw while we were going through it. Subscribe on the road to 1,000. I appreciate y'all so damn much. See you in the next one.